Hi everyone, this is Mike here once again with Computer Cuisine Deluxe 6.1. This video is going to be a quick one just to show how to import photos using the photo tab that you can see in the recipe area. This one's blank and this is for apple cake. You may notice that some of the recipes do contain some photos, and let's see, you can quickly see a representation of the main photo right here. So if we scroll through a couple, there's one. See one for the amaretto sour has a photo, so then that gets represented there. But if we go down to, for example, apple cake, you'll see that there is breads and muffin. There's also cakes. If we change it to cake, it will be the cake icon. Basically, this icon right here is represented by the type fish. It shows a picture of a fish, that sort of thing. So we're going to go back to, let's just say, breads and muffins. It's more of a bready type cake. So if you, for example, had photographs of your own dish, that's the ideal way to do this. Let's say you have a digital camera, you take some pictures of a special cake or a dish that you make, and you want to include those into your recipe collection. You can save those files onto either your desktop or save those into any sort of area and just import them in very quickly. Now, if you don't have photos and you just want a visual representation of what it looks like, or you're grabbing a recipe off the web, you may want to save those images from the web onto your desktop or in another area so that you can import them into Computer Cuisine Deluxe. So that's basically what I'm doing with this video, is showing you how to grab pictures off the web and import them in. If they're your own photos, you're just going to eliminate the downloading off the web portion of this video and just follow the same steps after they've already been created. So let's say we go to Google, and we're going to, I hate typing, so I'm going to just go ahead and copy the word apple cake. I'm going to go select paste. Now we have a Google search for apple cake. You'll see some recipes and such, but really right here, we're just going to snag Google Images, and we're going to see quite a few different representations of apple cake. Now, again, these are not necessarily directly related to this particular recipe. If you were on a website, let's say America's Test Kitchen, Shape Magazine, Food Network, allrecipes.com, and they have photos, you can just save those exact recipe photos and import those into Computer Cuisine Deluxe. But for this example, I'm just going to grab some generic photos just so you can see. I'm going to click on this, and we can see that this is a nice image that's a square. We're going to click full size image, and then we're going to save the image onto the desktop. Now, I'm on a Mac, but I have a 2-button mouse, so I'm going to right click and just select Save Image As, and we're going to be on the desktop and call this one Apple 1. If you're on a Mac and you have a standard 1-button mouse, you're going to hold down the Control button when you make that click so that you're essentially simulating a right click. And if you're on the PC, you're just going to right click just like I did. So there's one photo that we have, and that is now saved on the desktop, as you can see, as Apple 1. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for, let's say, oh, I don't know, this one looks pretty good, and we're going to say full size image, and we're going to right click again, hit save as. We're going to call this Apple 2, and we're going to do one more, click back, and let's say you just select any one that you want. Oh, I don't know, let's grab this one. Looks pretty good, nice close-up of the texture there. And click here, right click, save image as. We're on the desktop, Apple 3. So now we have 3 images that we're going to import into Computer Cuisine, which are now located on the desktop, as you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and close out our web browser, and we're going to go to the photo tab for apple cake for this recipe. I'm going to go to the photo tab, and this is the main recipe section right here. This is the recipe that you'll see in that little box on the recipe tab, that sort of iconic one. You may want to stick with a recipe that's more of a square, or excuse me, a photo that's more of a square, so it'll fill up that entire box. And if you click on the tab, it will show you that the ideal measurements in pixels are 563 by 486. That will fit this entire window right here. It's not an essential true square, but it will fill up this entire box, and it will also be ideal to not have any sort of white space. Here is the same thing, 190 by 190 for each one of these two, and those are true squares. So we're going to go ahead, and to import a photo, it's really easy. Just click anywhere within this box for this particular recipe. We're just going to click this, and a box comes up. We're already selected on the desktop, and you can select anywhere between 1, 2, and 3. Basically, you have some file options, which are all graphics, and different file formats that you can include. Quite a variety of different file formats, from GIF files to TIFF files to JPEGs to PICT files. You know, everything that you can pretty much think of in a graphics file format, Photoshop file, natives, PNGs, anything will import correctly. So you just select Apple 1, click OK, and you'll see it's not as large because the dimensions 563 by 486 are a little bit larger, but that will just give you an idea of the look of the apple cake recipe for photo 1. Do the same thing for photo 2. We're just going to click that, select Apple 2, hit OK. It's now shown here. You're going to do the same thing for photo 3, Apple 3, click here. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then now once we click back to the recipe tab, you'll see that that apple cake recipe has now occupied the main icon. And when you go to the list menu, you may see apple cake, and you'll see the little photo icon. That photo icon in the list menu shows all the photos that you have that have photographs included. If there's no photo icon in the list. So that'll give you a quick idea of exactly which recipes in your collection have photos. You can always select all in the list menu, and again, we've had recipes found 1001. And if you want to just quickly and easily weed out all the recipes that just have photos, you want to see what they look like, you can click this little photo icon here, click that, and then sure enough, every icon here has photographs, and you can see apple cake is definitely one of them. Go through these, and they're all going to have photographs. So you know those are all part of the photographic icon in that list that you can see here. And to click back and get all of them, just go ahead and click all, and you're back to where you were. So that's really how you import a photo, and it's fairly simple. Ideally, you may want to use photographs that you create, but this is a quick and easy way to grab photos off the web, grab any sort of information to just import that photo for you. Okay, thanks.